Friends, have you ever thought, what if your mind were a software and you were its programmer? What if you could rewrite every negative thought, every fear, every addiction, and every overthinking loop running inside your mind in just 21 days? What would your life look like? Today's video is about that unimaginable power. Mind hacking is a process that gives you complete control over your own thinking and the ability to transform your life from within. Today, we are going to share 6 mind-changing learnings that can overwrite your thinking, your habits, and your entire reality. This is not just a summary, it's a new operating system for your mind. If you watch till the end, you will realize that the real obstacle in your life is not the world, but your own programming, and the power to change it is in your hands. In this video, you will learn how your mind loops control your life, how to debug negative thought patterns, how to design your future in your mind first and then manifest it in the real world, and how small daily mental rewrites can even change your identity. And most importantly, by the end of this video, you will feel a clarity you may have been missing for a long time, a feeling that, yes, I can control my mind. I can rewrite my life. So if you are ready to upgrade your life, to hack your thinking, and to become the true master of your mind, watch this video till the end. And yes, if you want more powerful, life-changing book summaries like this, subscribe to the English Audiobook channel. Because here, we don't just summarize books, we elevate your thinking. Chapter 1. Your mind is a program you can rewrite. Sometimes the biggest turning point in life comes when you realize that your mind, what you believed was your identity, is actually just a running machine, a system built on countless codes formed by your childhood, environment, and past experiences. We think we control our thoughts, but the truth is, most of the time, our thoughts control us. The mind is filled with old programs: fear, anger, comparison, guilt, insecurity. These loops start running automatically. But the moment you understand that you are not your mind, a powerful realization awakens: the power to rewrite. When you step back and observe your thoughts like an engineer observing the wiring of a machine, a new clarity appears. You begin to notice which thoughts repeat again and again, which beliefs are stopping your growth, and which loops are keeping you stuck in your past version. This awareness works like an awakening. It shows you that your mind is separate from your identity, and when two things are separate, one can change the other. That is the beginning of real freedom. Imagine your mind as a software. Some lines of code make you afraid, some make you feel small, some force you to repeat the same mistakes again and again, and that same software, you can rewrite it your way. There's no rule that the same old thinking must continue. You can stop that code, edit it, and write new loops. This is the most powerful realization of mind hacking. The programmer is always more powerful than the program. In today's world, people try to change their external life: new phone, new job, new place, new routine. But the internal software remains the same, and until the code of the mind changes, no external change creates a lasting transformation. But when you learn to rewrite your mind, your choices change, your reactions change, your emotions change, and slowly, your entire reality begins to change. This is the level where you choose your responses instead of reacting on impulse. You decide how you will feel, how you will think, and how you will move forward. Rewriting your mind means upgrading your life from version 1 to version 2, then version 3. Each version more powerful, more aware, and more controlled. It's not that problems disappear, but the way you handle them changes. You are no longer a slave to your mind, you become its master. The most beautiful part is, you don't need anything extraordinary to start rewriting. The power is already within you. You just need to observe, understand, and consciously create new loops. And when these new loops grow stronger, when their repetition increases, then the old programming starts to fade on its own. One day, you wake up and realize, I have changed. My mind thinks differently. I am not the same old version anymore. That is the magic of this lesson. Your mind is not a fixed identity, but an editable program. And when the program changes, life changes. Chapter 2. Mental loops shape your reality, positive and negative. Have you ever wondered why certain thoughts, fears, or memories keep repeating in your mind, like an invisible tape playing on loop? These are mental loops, auto-running lines of thought that silently control your feelings, decisions, and reactions. No matter how much self-control you show in the outside world, inside, these loops hold the steering wheel. And the interesting part is, you often don't even realize which loop is directing your life in which direction. Negative loops are very clever. They start slowly, a small doubt, a tiny fear, a minor embarrassment. Then they begin to take space in your mind. Once the mind accepts them, they run in the background like hidden processes in a computer. Consciously, you may be thinking something else, but unconsciously, your mind keeps repeating the same old patterns. I am not capable. This always happens to me. I can't do anything right. These loops twist your reality, drain your confidence, and trap you in an invisible cage whose door is always open, you just don't see it. But on the other side, positive loops also exist. The funny thing is, the mind doesn't care which loop it runs, negative or positive. It simply repeats what you give it again and again. Just like negative loops pull you down, positive loops lift you up, push you forward, and upgrade you. I can learn. I will handle this. I am growing. These are not just simple lines, they are patches of a new software that slowly improve your thinking and your life. The beauty and the fear of reality lies in this. Your mind accepts every loop as truth. If you keep running fear-based loops, your reality starts looking full of fear. If you run loops of possibility, your mind starts showing you opportunities. The world remains the same, you change, your perspective changes, your mental filters change, and when the filter changes, the world changes. The most powerful quality of mental loops is predictability. The mind wants to predict because prediction makes it feel safe. That's why it chooses familiar loops, even if they are negative. If a past failure keeps coming back, it's not because it is important, but because the mind already knows it. It feels familiar. Breaking this habit is not easy, but it is not impossible. The first step to changing loops is awareness. Without it, no transformation can begin. When you recognize which loop is repeating, control starts coming back to you. After awareness comes interception, catching the negative loop as soon as it starts and refusing to accept it as truth. And finally, replacement, installing a new, intentional, empowering loop in place of the old one. This is debugging, reprogramming the mind in its own language. When mental loops start running in the right direction, a subtle but powerful shift happens in your life. You don't react the same way anymore. Things that used to hurt you don't affecting the same way. Situations that used to disturb you no longer have the same impact. You become calmer, clearer, and more in control. Your decision-making improves, your confidence rises naturally, and most importantly, you stop feeling stuck. This lesson gives one of the most massive clarities in life. You don't just change your thinking, you become what your thinking makes you. But if your loops come under your control, if you turn off the mind's autopilot and take the steering wheel yourself, your reality starts shaping according to your will. Negative loops are not destiny, they are just old programs, and every program can be upgraded to a better version. That is the power that moves you forward, toward a newly written reality. Chapter 3. Focus is your superpower. In life, victory always belongs to the one who decides the direction of their mind. The outside world is full of noise, notifications, distractions, social media feeds, random thoughts, past memories, future worries, all constantly pulling your focus away. And the mind is naturally a restless machine. It doesn't like to stay in one place. But the moment you realize that focus is not a gift, but a muscle you can train, that's when the game starts to change. The mind's biggest pattern is wandering. It jumps from one thought to another like a monkey jumping from branch to branch, and our entire life becomes a reflection of this uncontrolled wandering. Every unfinished task, every broken discipline, every procrastination, every emotional reaction, all are rooted in an untrained focus. The moment you catch your awareness and observe where your thoughts are going, control begins. The real power of focus reveals itself when you start noticing when your mind is drifting. This drifting is not a weakness, it is an opportunity to train. Every time you bring your mind back to the present moment, you are strengthening it. In the beginning, the mind will rebel, it will disturb you, it will throw random thoughts at you, but this resistance is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Any muscle hurts when trained for the first time, and the mind is no different. As focus starts to grow stronger, changes begin to appear in every level of life. Suddenly, you realize you can see things more clearly. You notice even the smallest details. You stay more present in conversations. You go deeper into your work. And most importantly, you stop being dictated by your emotions. Focus gives you the power of a warrior, the ability to stay centered in every situation. Distractions start losing their power as your inner attention becomes sharper. Earlier, a single phone notification could break your entire flow, but now your mind decides where to give energy and what to completely ignore. This shift is magical. As your focus increases, your decisions become more powerful, and your productivity reaches a new level. Focus starts redefining your identity and turns into discipline. You don't just work, you dissolve into your work. Whether it is learning, trading, business, fitness, or any skill, deep focus transforms you into someone who is no longer average. When the mind flows in one direction, its energy does not scatter, and concentrated energy always produces extraordinary results. But focus is not just for tasks, it is also the biggest secret of emotional mastery. When you learn to control your attention, you begin to control your feelings. Even if a negative thought arises, you catch it, observe it, and don't let it dominate you. You start choosing your responses instead of acting on impulse. And that is true mastery, holding the steering wheel of your inner world. Slowly, a day comes when you find yourself operating differently. The mind no longer runs away. It works like a trained companion. Its energy is not scattered. It is laser sharp. And that is the moment you understand that the rarest and most valuable skill in the world is not time. It is attention. And the one who masters attention unlocks the greatest superpower. Focus takes your life to a place where clarity dominates, not confusion, where calmness is strong, not chaos, and where you can use your full potential. This realization puts the real steering wheel of life in your hands, because now you are not chasing your mind is following you. Chapter 4. Imagination is the blueprint of your future. Every person wants change in life, better health, better money, better relationships, better confidence, but most people keep searching for change only in the outside world. Real transformation always begins from within, and its first step is imagination. Imagination is not something childish, it is a silent blueprint, an invisible architecture where your future is first created. Whatever you achieve in the outer world is first born inside your mind, as an image, a picture, a possibility. The mind builds the world twice, first inside, then outside. The power of imagination is extraordinary because the mind does not make a big distinction between what is real and what is imagined. If you repeatedly imagine defeat, your nervous system starts accepting it as truth. If you keep imagining yourself as weak, unlucky, or unworthy, that becomes your identity. And if you imagine yourself as strong, capable, and successful, your brain starts creating pathways in that direction. This is one of the most amazing truths of neuroscience. Your imagination rewires your brain. To imagine is to give a command to your mind. It is the language that the subconscious understands the fastest. Words have a limited impact, but images go much deeper. A powerful mental picture can change your entire physiology. Your breathing pattern changes, your emotional state shifts, and your behavior starts aligning with that image. That is why athletes visualize their victories again and again. Entrepreneurs imagine their future companies, and performers mentally rehearse their performances. Before the world sees success, the mind sees it first. The real magic of imagination lies in clarity. When you imagine your future in a vague way, like, I want to be successful, the mind stays confused. But when the future is crystal clear, what kind of life it is, how it feels, what actions support it, the mind naturally starts activating to turn that blueprint into reality. This is the moment when imagination stops being just a dream and becomes a plan. When you create a detailed mental movie of your best possible future, you give your brain a destination. The mind needs direction, and imagination is the purest source of direction. The more you imagine a better version of yourself, the more your current self starts shifting toward that level. Your behavior begins to align. Your choices start changing. You get attracted to things that bring you closer to that imagined version and move away from things that weaken you. Imagination is also an emotional engine. When you truly feel a beautiful future scene, not just think about it, but genuinely experience it, your brain starts releasing the same chemicals needed to manifest that future in reality. This internal chemistry ignites motivation, supports discipline, and makes action feel effortless. Suddenly, you're not forcing yourself to change, your mind wants to change. You may notice that when you imagine yourself as a failure, your energy drops, and when you imagine a powerful future, your energy rises. This is proof that imagination is your internal battery. The richer your imagination, the stronger your actions. Poor imagination leads to poor actions. Rich imagination leads to rich results. And the most beautiful part, your imagination is unlimited. No boundaries, no rules, no limits. You can upgrade your identity in your mind as many times as you want. It doesn't matter what you have faced in life so far. The mind is always ready to accept new versions. You just need to give it a new blueprint. Chapter 5. Repetition and action reprogram the brain. Many people want change, but change doesn't happen. Sometimes we feel highly motivated, set big goals, and dream big, but after a few days, everything fades. We return to where we started. The reason is not that we are weak or incapable. The real reason is that the brain sticks to old patterns. It keeps repeating the thoughts, habits, and behaviors it is familiar with. And until repetition changes, identity does not change. That is why real rewiring begins not with motivation, but with repetition. The brain is a biological machine that feels comfortable repeating the same things. If you think positively one day and negatively the next, the brain stays confused and no new neural pathway is formed. But when you repeat a new thought, belief, or behavior again and again, new pathways start forming in the brain. Old circuits begin to weaken, new circuits become stronger. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reshape itself. And the most powerful tool for this reshaping is repetition. Repetition is not just about repeating words, it is a full-body experience. When you repeatedly feel, imagine, write, and practice your desired behavior through small actions, the brain gradually starts accepting that identity as real. For example, if you mentally rehearse confidence daily, one day you will realize that you are naturally behaving confidently. This is not magic, it is architecture, mind architecture. Action is the second most powerful tool in this process. Many people think that confidence will come first and then action will follow. But the truth is the opposite. Action creates confidence. Action creates clarity. Action creates identity. No matter how small the step is, when you take action according to your new identity, the mind starts accepting that identity as real. Every action sends a message. This is who I am now, and the brain begins to execute that message. Repetition and action together change the operating system of the mind. First, thoughts come that you cannot control. Then gradually, repetition starts replacing those thoughts. Then action anchors those repetitions into real life. This combination is so powerful that old habits start weakening on their own. The new identity begins to feel effortless, and one day you realize your mind is no longer operating the same way. It has shifted to a new version. Consistency is the oxygen of this formula. People do prayers, affirmations, or exercise for a day or two and wonder why change is not happening, but the mind needs constant exposure to erase old loops. Just like water, drops falling continuously on a stone eventually create a hole, repetition and action create permanent grooves in the brain. As long as repetition is unstable, the mind remains unstable. The 21-day technique is based on this principle. The mind needs new instructions again and again, without breaks, in the same direction. The more consistency you have, the faster the rewiring happens. Repetition strengthens the signals. Imagination gives clarity. Writing sharpens focus, and action anchors everything into physical reality. Slowly, the new loop becomes automatic. This is the state where discipline is no longer forced. Your identity becomes discipline. The most beautiful part is that with repetition and action, transformation becomes predictable. No gamble, no guess. You simply keep implementing new thoughts and behaviors again and again, and the brain starts molding itself accordingly. You become a consciously crafted version of yourself, not an accidental one. Repetition rewires the mind. Action locks that rewiring into the real world, and when both come together, your personality, emotions, beliefs, and habits create a new future. This is where self-improvement stops being theory and becomes reality. Chapter 6. You become the programmer of your life, not the passenger. The biggest illusion in life is thinking that everything is outside our control: our destiny, our emotions, our patterns, our failures, our habits. We believe that the mind will always remain the same, and we are forced to live with it. But the truth is the opposite. The mind may be a self-running system, but you are always its master. When you become aware, when you start observing your thoughts, when you understand your internal patterns and learn to rewrite them, you move from the passenger seat to the programmer's seat. That is the essence of this lesson. Your mind is not your master, it is your tool, and the day you learn to command it, your life starts moving in a completely different direction. People think that big changes require big actions, but the real breakthrough comes when you realize that no identity is permanent, no belief is final, and no habit is unchangeable. The mind is always editable. You just need to learn how to edit it. Imagine you have written a new software code. Whenever the old code tries to run, you catch it and replace it with the new one. Gradually, the new code becomes the default. The same happens with the mind. You consciously write new thought loops, install new beliefs, and create new emotional patterns. In the beginning, it may feel unnatural, but with time, the mind starts accepting the new instructions. From that moment, you begin designing your own future. Becoming a programmer means holding the steering wheel of your inner world in every moment. If a thought causes pain, you can analyze it. If a habit is holding you back, you can replace it. If a belief makes you feel small, you can rewrite it. You are no longer a toy of reactions. You become the creator of responses. Your choices are no longer random, they are intentional. Your behavior is no longer impulsive, it is designed. As a programmer, you begin to understand your emotions. Every emotion works like a signal, and you recognize the loop behind it. Where anger once controlled you, now you observe it and decide how much space to give it. Where anxiety once ruled you, now you decode it and take steps to replace it. Emotional mastery suddenly starts to feel possible because now you are operating inside your mind's software, not from the outside. The biggest principle of the mind is this: whatever you repeatedly instruct, the mind accepts as truth. And as a programmer, you become the person who creates new truths for your mind. You evolve your identity according to your will. You uninstall your limitations. You amplify your strengths. This transformation is gradual but powerful. One day you look back and realize that your reactions, your thinking, your energy, your confidence, everything has changed. Sitting in the programmer seat also means taking full responsibility for your life. There is no place for blame anymore because you know every internal pattern is editable. There is no need for excuses because you know every loop can be rewritten. There is no need for external validation because you are designing your own identity. For the first time, life feels predictable, controllable, and empowering. And the most beautiful part, when you learn to consciously program your mind, you become the architect of your own destiny. You don't just face situations, you create them. You don't just react to the world, you influence it. You don't just improve yourself, you reinvent yourself. This lesson makes one thing clear: you are not a passenger. You are the driver who was always meant to hold the steering wheel. The deepest change in life does not begin outside, it always begins within. When you learn to understand, observe, rewrite, and guide your mind, transformation becomes not just possible, but predictable. The mind is not a wild force that is hard to control. It is a programmable system that moves in the direction you repeatedly guide it. Your thoughts, your imagination, your loops, your focus, your repetitions, all of these come together to create the invisible map of your future. The real essence of these lessons is this: life does not run on external luck or random destiny. It runs on the internal codes you execute every day. If old loops are stopping your growth, you can change them. If your imagination is limited, you can expand it. If your focus is weak, you can sharpen it. If your identity feels weak, you can upgrade it. You are not stuck, not even for a moment. Mind hacking is not a trick, it is a path to self-mastery. It is the journey where you clear your thinking, strengthen your beliefs, stabilize your emotions, and design your destiny. When you become the programmer of your mind, the world does not seem to change. Instead, it reflects your power. And the most important thing, this journey does not begin on a single day. It begins every day, with every thought, with every action. The clarity that has awakened within you today is the beginning of your next version. Just one step, one loop, one rewrite, and the power to change your entire reality is in your hands. Your mind is the source, your thoughts are the tools, your actions are the code, and your rewritten identity is the future you are going to live.